Well, all right, kiddos, it's time to sharpen up those edges and grease up your chains. We are going to live it up with mountain life. Dropping in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's up, mountain lifers, mountain lovers, caretakers of the wild, and explorers of the Nar? Thanks for tuning into the show. Thanks for spending your valuable time here living it up with mountain life. My name is Feet Banks. It's late January. It hasn't snowed in a while here in the Coast Mountains, and I don't even care because I was lucky enough to spend 5 days at Silvertip heli skiing last week up in the Caribou Mountains here in British Columbia. And listen, there's no such thing as a bad heli lodge, but Silvertip might be my favorite because it's so remote, fully off-grid out on the shores of Quesnel Lake, which is this massive lake in a huge glacial fjord, the deepest lake in British Columbia. You know, it has spots that are over 500 meters deep. That's 1,677 feet for you Americans out there. The lake, it's like 100 kilometers long, super deep, super dark. It doesn't even freeze entirely most winters, and it has this personality. And sometimes you're skiing right on top of that, staring down at this dark gray slash of flowing, moving water and geological time as POW flies up in your face all day. Man, it feels like real wilderness. And that's kind of what I like to get out into. And that's why it's a special place, Silvertip heli skiing. Check them out. Our guest today is no stranger to POW flying in her face, POW flying everywhere. Tatum Monod is on the show today, and we had a really nice talk. Good fun, energy, great person. I enjoyed it very much. That's coming up in a bit. Right now, though, what's happening with you? Are you getting your own POW turns this winter? Are you getting your own heli experience? What kind of winter are you having? What are the lineups like at your ski hill? Are you surviving the plague? Have you got your two-factor authentication on, most importantly, right? So we're talking about computers now, about social media, all the accounts, all the stupid passwords you need to remember, and then reset because you can't remember, and then you can't use the same one that you just forgot once you do remember. It's all very painful, but it's important because the hackers, man, the hackers are out there, and they're trying to get in. We had a good friend, a super talented photographer, one of the best in the world, with one of the most beautiful Instagram accounts of anyone, and the hackers got him. They got in somehow, some greasy hacker trick where you think you're entering your info in a real place, but it's not a real place. And they held his account for ransom, even made posts pretending to be him. And as I'm sure we can guess, no support from Instagram, from whatever they're calling their overlord company now, Meta, no support, no help. No team to fight back the hackers. Not one single iota of support or response, apparently. So our friend, he had to buy his account back. I mean, those are thousands of photos on there, thousands of followers who love them. Our Instagrams are kind of like a yearbook of our lives in a lot of ways. So he paid. I don't know how much, but it doesn't really matter. The hackers won. And they'll keep winning, it sounds like, because the big tech companies don't give a shit about you and they're not there to help. Which isn't really a surprise, but yeah, now might be a good time to beef up your security on all the accounts. Go two-factor. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. You got to get a text. You got to remember a number. But every time you want to sign in, you got to go through this process, but it helps keep the hackers out. The hackers aren't like they used to be in the movies when I was a kid. 1995, hackers, Angelina Jolie, Johnny Lee Miller as high school kids who saved the world from Fisher Stevens, who is a bad guy because he rides a skateboard. Take my money, Angelina, hack away. No, if only it was that simple and innocent. It's not. The hackers are out to screw us all now. And pretty soon the machines are going to be hacking us on their own. Skynet, Terminator 2, remember that? That's the way we're heading. And then that's the end. No more nothing. So check your accounts, or maybe turn them all off. But no one's going to do that. I'm not. How am I going to know when the Natural Selection Tour live stream starts if I do that? How am I going to see stuff? How am I going to know how big of a fish Tatum Monod caught? Or how gnarly of a line she just shredded? I sat down with Tatum in early December after a day on the ski hill in Whistler. That's a shared territory of the Squamish and Lilwat nations, if you're keeping track, which you should be because it's important to know whose territory you're on and what those nations are all about and some of their stories and their history and how you can help preserve and protect that territory for future generations of Indigenous peoples, of settlers, and the future of the land itself, because the land is more important than any of us. So Tatum and I met up in Whistler, and we talked mostly about hunting and fishing and baking, a little bit about skiing, and a little bit about the film that she dropped this season. The film's called Passage. You can find it online and on Red Bull TV. And I highly recommend you either watch it right now before we jump into this conversation or right afterwards. It's up to you, but watch it. Passage. It kicks ass. Okay, here we go. Tatum Monod. Let's start. Okay, here we are in Whistler with Tatum Monod. Tatum, thanks for your time. Tell me about your day. What's happening today?
Second day of the season for me today.
Nice.
So yeah, went up Blackcomb, just made a few mellow runs. You just informed me that Peak opened over on Whistler, so I'm feeling like I really kind of blew it. But tomorrow's gonna be a good day. It's stacking up already tonight. So.
It's starting to happen. So you've got a night plan tonight, a girls' night. Have you done any baking for this event?
Actually, I'm gonna do a banana cake. That's
nice.
Yeah.
You're gonna go home and make one?
Yeah.
Everyone I speak to about you says, ask her about baking. So we're going to start with that. It's a lifelong passion, or is this something that you've picked up recently?
A lifelong passion. Yeah, I was baking with my grandma so long. Some of my first memories were making sticky buns with my nanny in our little cottage kitchen. So
for sure. And so where was that? Where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up in Banff. But every summer we'd go to Ontario, where my mom's from, and we had a little cabin on Lake Temagami. And I just would fish and make sticky buns with my nanny.
Perfect. And now you're taking it to the next level. Someone told me cupcakes are your go-to.
You name it.
Right.
I like pies.
What's your favorite pie?
Pies are kind of my specialty.
Oh, man.
It's a bit of an art with a pie because, like, you've had like the pies with the great crust and the ones with the shitty crust.
For sure.
They have to be flaky. You have to have a flaky crust, or you're blowing it.
I'm big into pie, and we'll loop back to that later. So, is your crust recipe, is that a family heirloom, a family traditional recipe?
It's not. It's tried and true, though. It's just one of those things where it's like really easy to mess up and incredibly frustrating. Like, I'm not one of those people in the kitchen that's like, oh, this is so like relaxing. I'm like, no, like it's got to be really good. Like, it's got to be perfect.
Super exacting with your measurements and everything, or do you kind of freestyle it?
Baking is an art. It is chemistry. If you're off just in the slightest, it's just not going to pan out. So yeah, it's very precise.
Okay. Awesome. Like even the salt, right? It's not a pinch of salt. It's an eighth of a teaspoon. Or...
No, I'm not that crazy.
All right.
I'll do the pinch, but
I just saw you just dropped a film on the internet, redbull.com, Passage. I think it's some of the best powder skiing I've ever seen captured on film. That opening segment where it's really in tight and close. Who shot that?
That was Clay Mitchell. He was doing all the follows. And Cam Batten came in and did a trip the first year of the project here in Braylorn. Cam's incredible as well. But yeah, CK9 Studios was my partner on that one, and it was the absolute dream team.
Well, everyone go check it out right now. It's on the internet. But that was a 2-year project, you said?
Yeah. Year one was a COVID year, so pretty tough. We got cut off right during prime time. We're just sinking into filming, and just when everything, big lines and stability, everything was lining up, all of a sudden we were cut off. So that was a bit of a hit. I decided to make it into a 2-year, which ended up being a blessing in disguise. Like, I'm just so glad that it all ended up that way. Because year 2 was phenomenal. And aside from a bit of a concussion issue that I was dealing with, it was just all time super fun year of filming.
And you kept it pretty local here in the Coast Mountains?
Yeah, here in Nelson.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
For the majority. And then I should say I did that trip to the Rockies, back to Banff with my dad, and that was one of the coolest days I've ever had in the mountains in my life. So
awesome. Well, let's bounce back to that. Growing up, I know it says in the film, I don't want to give too much away, but you came to skiing late in the game. Obviously a very ski focused family, but they didn't force it on you. What did you do before you were 12?
I grew up riding horses,
Right,
and doing gymnastics. But yeah, I just did horse stuff. That was my life. And then my mom and dad kind of came to me. They're like, "Okay, it's either like you sell your horse or you ski. It's not going to be both." It was kind of this ultimatum, and I just will never forget. I was so torn, but for some reason, skiing was just pulling me in that direction, and I really haven't looked back since.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then you trained as a racer
Yeah.
all through high school?
I mean, I distinctively remember my first day skiing. Like,
Right.
I was 12 years old. Like, I can see
yeah,
it
of
now
course.
in my head. Like, it was, I'd like to say it wasn't that long ago, but I'm 30 now. So let's not go there.
In the grand scheme of geological time, that's just an instant ago.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it feels like just yesterday, though. I can see it,
And you knew right away this is going to be my thing, or did it take a couple times?
It was my thing, like
Right.
right off the bat. It was kind of, for a lack of better term, I just didn't need to be taught. It was just kind of like I clipped in and I went, and it was, yeah. I don't know. It's been history ever since.
Your family has a shop, so even before you skied, were you a little kid scurrying around the shop and with the wax shavings on the floor?
Yeah, making the wax balls.
Yeah.
For sure. Grew up around all the ski tuning equipment, probably why I'm half deaf now. But no, yeah, that was like the rite of passage as a Monod. All of my family, my cousins, my aunt, my uncle, my mom, dad, grandfather, we all worked in the store. That was just what we did, and we did it from a young age. We just started pretty much folding clothing,
Right.
And yeah, it's
Have you been able to carry that skill? Like, is your closet super organized? Are all your shirts folded like they're at a store?
It's ridiculous.
Awesome.
Everything is like color coordinated. I'm definitely not an OCD person, but I like the visual appeal of just having like a color scheme and having things like just lined up in a closet. I think there's something to be said about that.
You're a bit of a fashion, that's an interest of yours, or?
Fashionista?
I guess so.
Is that what you're going to call me, Pete?
Is that what they say nowadays? Is that what the kids are calling it?
I'll take it.
Fashion nerd? Or?
I'll take it. No, I definitely, I love clothing. Fashion design has always been a big thing to me. I actually went to design school for 2 years in Salt Lake City. Took textiles and advanced sewing and started sinking my teeth into that program and like really, really loving it and enjoying it. And then I got the call from Red Bull that they wanted me on the team. So it was kind of like, that's an opportunity I can't pass up. I'm going to just like go for the skiing thing 100%.
Totally. Now, of course, you're living in the fashion epicenter of Pemberton.
Yeah. We have a general store. That's where all the latest trends come in. No, it's hard to spend money living in Pemberton, that's for sure. But I am still so driven by design, and just working with Arc'teryx, that's really where I see myself progressing.
Right.
I'm like super, super passionate about design, so
that's awesome.
I want to evolve in that direction.
That's awesome. Let's backtrack a little bit there to the sort of end of high school, end of racing. Did that sort of line up around the same time? I know there was did you burn out with racing, or what happened when you switched from that side to the free ski side?
Yeah, I think I traveled a lot with racing. I was doing NORAMs and some of the bigger races in Europe, and I remember like doing pretty well, especially in GS. Like at my points, I was kind of killing it, like in Canada, and then went to Europe and just got absolutely schooled. Like it was eye-opening. Like I was kind of coming in like feeling pretty hot, feeling pretty good, and then the girls that were 5 years younger were just absolutely smoking me. And that's when I realized, like, okay, I might not have her here. Like I think I don't know if this racing thing, if I'm quite cut out. It was pretty eye-opening, but I did get offered a NCAA scholarship to the University of Alaska, and I wrote my SATs, just passed them. That was a struggle for me.
Right, because were you like, the typical ski town racing program where you're training, 5 days a week, 4 days a week?
Yeah. I went to high school, grade 12, like 36 days.
Yeah.
if that.
Yeah.
It was like 30 or 36 days. So I was never there. I just squeaked by.
You weren't the prom queen then, or
no?
did you go to your prom?
I did go to graduation. I remember walking up on stage and being really curious as to whether or not they were gonna pass me my diploma. Like, I wasn't sure if I graduated, to be totally real. I was just, I mean, yes, like once I chose skiing, that was it's been my life ever since. I've sacrificed absolutely everything, school included, to get there. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm still at.
Yeah, well, then you shifted to free skiing and just put out the best POW segment ever filmed on skis, and some seriously gnarly lines in that movie as well, which I love to see that.
Thank you, Feet. Yeah, it was honestly the best 2 years of my life filming that project. It was so much fun.
When you were coming over to the non-competitive side, the fun side of skiing, were there certain athletes either in town or just abroad that you're looking up to, or mentors that you could follow along with and learn?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I think that's what life is about, just surrounding yourself with mentors. And that was the biggest thing for me coming into this free ski world, was just like, I was just starstruck by everyone. I was just this little young ski racing kid that I liked skiing. I never thought I wanted to be a pro skier by any means, but I definitely totally idolized like the Sarahs and the Ingrids. And I remember one day very distinctly at Revelstoke. This is the second year the hill had ever opened. It was like incredible. No one was up there. You just ski onto the lift, ski POW all day long. This little hidden gem at the time. And Ingrid came up, she was shredding, and I just asked her straight up if I could do some laps with her. And she was so nice. She's just so, kind of just took me under her wing, like, yeah, let's go, let's do this. And I remember being like, I'm going to do backflips in front of Ingrid. She's going to think I'm super cool. And sure enough, I was just like throwing backflips out of my pocket, left, right, and center.
Nice.
We get to the bottom. She's like, you rip. I just remember being like, oh, this is like my dream.
So psyched.
My dream.
Did you have the backflip in your pocket? Like that was a go-to trick? Or were you sort of winging it?
No, that was like clockwork for me.
Yeah.
I probably the gymnast background or whatever. And I'd been shredding the Revelstoke. I'd been living there, right? So I knew all the little hits, the ones that I could get it around on and like impress her. That was my biggest goal.
I saw you went up. You guys did a girls' trip up to maybe, was it? Or
yes.
Yeah. Talk about that, and also that was with some snowboarders too.
I don't know if it was.
What's it? Yeah. We can cut that out?
Yeah.
All right. We'll bleep that out. Valley Sirius? You guys went up to Valley Sirius, a girls' trip?
Yeah, Zippermouth Creek up by there. So, but I mean, anyone that knows where that is, power to them if they want to go try and ski it. It's definitely, proper little approach and a beautiful big line, an amazing face. But, to do that with Taylor Godber and my friend MP was just like incredible. It was so cool. It was day 2 that we ended up getting it. The first day was total fail. We just picked the wrong skin track. Basically ran out of time. It got dark and I'm like, okay, we gotta turn around here. And then the next day we came back and I kind of looked at Taylor. I was like, I think we can just punch up that on our sleds. Like, let's try. What's the worst that can happen? Lots, but we went for it and ended up putting in the gnarliest double I've ever done. And Taylor and I just flew up it. And then it was, like one of those days in the mountains where you're just like, pinch me. Like, this is such a dream come to fruition. It was so cool.
Awesome. And it just rad women out there getting after it, having fun. Was that something that you were doing a lot in Revelstoke? Was it a lot of backcountry there too, or much sledding, or was it mostly just off the hill?
I mean, I was just 18, 19 at that time. So I was just getting laps under me. I was just doing the resort thing. And that's really what you need to do to like learn how to ski, like refine your skills. And I did some of the contests and whatnot. And then when I came out here, I ended up getting a snowmobile. I think I got my first sled like seven years ago or something. And that just opens up a whole other world, right? It's just like
that's what it's all about out here.
Yeah. Possibilities are endless.
Awesome. So, I always waffle, this week you're my favorite skier. Next week it might be Logan or Kai or, but this week it's you. But what you are for sure always is my favorite fly fisher woman. So I know you mentioned fishing in Ontario with your grandparents. Fishing's been just a through line through your whole life. When did you get into fly fishing?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, some of my very first memories, like memories that you shouldn't even have. You were so young, you know, were of fly fishing with my dad. In his drift boat on the Bow River. He'd put me in this like big Tupperware container and we'd just float down the river and he'd catch a fish, pass me the rod, and I just remember like feeling the energy of like something on the end of that line. It was like, what? This is amazing. And it's the same feeling that I still get to this day. I'm absolutely obsessed with it.
Yeah. And I think I saw on your Instagram, you were just down south, like in the tropics, catching roosters or?
Yeah. Well, yes, I was. Kind of a dream come true. Like I've been wanting to fish specifically and catch a rooster fish for 8 years. Like I have one painted on my wall at home. Like I'm obsessed with these fish.
It finally happened.
Yeah, it finally happened the last few hours of the trip.
Right.
And it came together, ended up landing like a beautiful, beautiful rooster fish. And honestly, yeah, the whole trip was just outstanding. But
and why were you so obsessed with that fish? Is it just because they look like they look? People, you should Google rooster fish, or is there something else to it as well?
Oh, there's so much about each species has different kind of personalities, really, and a rooster fish is just very much like the kind of boss. They're the boss of the ocean in a way. They're like very aggressive and smart. They're really, really smart and strategic too. So if you catch one, it's like you were in the right time, the right place, stripping the right way.
It wasn't by accident.
No, it's like they're very, very smart fish, and they're definitely like to catch one from a boat's cool, but to catch one from the beach is like pretty next level.
Yeah. Wow.
I was really happy.
So how many days on the water do you get in a year?
Ooh.
Like, are you fishing all summer?
Yes. It's kind of something I'm pondering. I'm like, how can I do it more?
Yeah.
I really want to figure that one out, because it's like,
it feels like there's almost more of a lane for female fly fisher people than skiing even. Like it seems like, there's a few women out there fishing that are really, seems like they're doing well anyhow.
Yeah. I mean, fishing's always just going to be my like hobby and my passion. I never want to turn it into like
fishing
work.
And baking pies.
Yeah. I never want to like, try and be like a professional angler by any means. Right. It's just my love, and it's like my obsession and my hobby and my passion. Yeah. But I want to do it as much as I can, and that's the glory of it, right? I can do it for like, I'll be like 90 years old and I'll be casting off
and
of
getting
boat.
Better the whole time.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So much to learn.
Have you been up to Terrace? Have you done a ski trip up there?
Mm-mm.
It's pretty good because you can go for steelhead in the morning, right? Or in the afternoon,
mm-hmm.
and then ripped pow the other part of the day.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, the steelhead population is dwindling hard. Yeah, there's some really, really interesting podcasts out there. Actually, April Vokey did one about that waterway specifically, and it's just like, it's really sad what's going on. So I'm really hoping numbers will come back harder and stronger in the following years, because that's my dream. I want to go up there and I want to fish it. That was my plan this fall, but I pulled the plug just because it just morally didn't feel right to be.
Well, I've been up there the last couple of years and never catch anything, but I'm I'm gonna blame my own skills rather than the fishery, but maybe it's a bit of both.
Well, that's the thing with steelheading, right? It's like you might never catch one your whole life, but that's not the point. It's being in that environment.
It's a beautiful river to go stand on.
Exactly.
For sure. Shout out Skeena Spey. Those are my boys up there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also, it was, I guess, 2 or 3 years ago, though, you came at us for the magazine with a hunting story that never got run. But tell me about that hunt. The photos were phenomenal.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that was the trip of a lifetime. That was, unbelievable. I went up to the Yukon with Jessie Young. She's a longtime friend of mine. I grew up ski racing with her and her brother, and she owns an outfitter up there called Midnight Sun. And I hit her up. I knew nothing about hunting.
Right. It wasn't something you've done your whole life.
Gosh, no. I'd never even really shot a gun.
Right.
Like I've never even like killed a squirrel. Like,
yeah,
I feel bad like setting a mouse trap. Like I'm that on that level. So to kind of like take that leap was huge for me. But I just had this kind of realization of like, I'm a meat eater. I'm never not going to be a meat eater. It's just like what I need in my body. I grew up with it, and respect to all the vegans and vegetarians, but the diet's just not for me. It just doesn't work for me. So I really wanted to kind of start to acknowledge and figure out where my meat was coming from. And going to the grocery store and buying this stuff just like wrapped in plastic and smacked on styrofoam, I was like kind of just getting super grossed out and thought it would be incredible and like a beautiful way to pay homage to something that I was eating, to go and hunt it myself. So hit up Jessie, and she was fired up like right off the bat. She's like, oh gosh, yeah, we're gonna get you so dialed. I took all my courses, got my license, and within a few months I practiced shooting my rifle with Daryl Treadway.
Oh, yeah,
Shout out to Daryl. Thank you.
Good mentor for hunting, for sure.
Yeah, he got me all dialed and I knew nothing. I was like, help, I need help. And yeah, at this point I'd just been like practicing with targets and going to the range. So I, again, had never killed anything. And all of a sudden I found myself on this like 2.5 week horseback hunt in the middle of the Yukon. And it was just like life-changing. Like, it was absolutely incredible.
And so then is that part of your routine now? Are you hunting every fall?
I didn't get to hunt the last 2 falls, sadly. But there's actually 5 or 6 days left in the season in Squamish, so I'm still not losing hope on this season. But that's the thing with hunting, right? Like, the conditions, everything has to line up so well. Like, we just got a bunch of snow, so to walk around in crunchy, loud snow isn't really ideal right now. If it warms up, then I'm definitely going to take advantage of these next 6 days and try and go out. But hunting is definitely something that, again, like, you need a mentor. You need somebody to help. And I personally am not confident enough to just go out into the bush and walk around trying to find something. I'm not there yet. Maybe one day, and that's what I definitely have a goal to like do it every year and get dialed. But yeah, it's a real deal thing.
It feels like a lot of your favorite things are a good excuse to get outside.
Yeah, right? You could say that.
You've got a brother, I know that. Any other siblings or?
No, just my big bro.
Right. So how was that growing up? Were you guys competitive? Did you fight? Did you get along?
My brother shaped me for sure. He kicked my ass. Yeah, he definitely like tough love. And like to this day, we still just tease each other and like we're hard on each other, but we love each other so much. And it's definitely him that like made me who I am. He's just...
Your first heavy metal tape and stuff like that?
Well, more like rap and, all the stuff I wasn't allowed to listen to. I kind of got my hands on because my brother had it on his like shockproof Walkman or whatever. He's just, I'm so proud of him too. He's like really taken the reins, and he's now the owner of the Monod Sports, my family's business. And it's 3rd generation thanks to him. And yeah, he just works so hard. He's incredible.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, that's an institution, that shop, right? Your grandfather, came over in like the start of the 1900s, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's 75 years the shop's been running. It's been in the family ever since. Yeah. So yeah, to learn more about that whole kind of lineage and family history, watch Passage, because that's really what my film's about. Yeah.
Do you remember your first pair of skis? How long? What brand?
They were was it the B12s? Like, I can see them, the blue ones. the Rosignol B12s.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I think you're probably too young. You never mess with rear entry boots, probably, hey?
No.
They're the best.
I'll take your word for it.
I still have mine from grade 9. But you mentioned getting over an injury. Have you had a lot of those hurdles of injury in your career?
Definitely.
Even
Yeah.
back into racing, or
no? With racing, it was funny. I would crash. I would eat shit, and I would like get up and be like, "Oh, miraculously, I'm fine."
Rubbery little gymnast. Kid.
Yeah, totally. I was kind of one of those things where I'm like, I might be that skier that like knocks on wood never tears their knee, you know?
Right.
And then boom, all of a sudden it was like kind of a few hits back to back for me in my career. But I mean, what are the highs without the lows?
Yeah.
You know, like I think injuries really put things in perspective, and I've taken a lot of learning from those hits.
Was there some dark times? Like I know a lot of people have when they can't do what they love, they get really depressed. Like, how did you navigate through that?
Oh gosh. I mean, that's the hardest part. Yeah. I think recovering physically from an injury is tricky, but the mental side is just a whole other battle. And it's like so many people are like, "Oh, you be positive and you just like you change that frame of mind." And it's like, no, like sometimes it just sucks, and you just have to accept that it's going to get better eventually. But in this moment, it's not fun. It's not rainbows and butterflies all the time. And I think at the end of the day, though, it does make you stronger for sure. But concussions are definitely like I had an eye-opening experience with concussions. That last season, I rung my bell pretty good, and it's really, really wreaked havoc on me. Like I couldn't even form sentences properly. It was crazy. And it was really scary.
A long, slow climb out of that hole.
Yeah. And there's no answer, right? There's no, like, it's not like a knee or a broken bone or something where in rehab you do A, B, C, D and you'll get there. Yeah. It's like, there's no true way to heal and recover from a concussion. It's just all very personalized and it takes time. And I mean, I looked at a white wall for like 2 weeks straight. Crazy. Just like tried to meditate on getting healthy and feeling better and like doing everything I possibly could because like my whole project was basically banking on it.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
Is that a lot of pressure when you know you've got a project on the go? Obviously, even it sucks when you're coming back from a injury, but even when you're not and you're like, okay, I got to go get this, like, does it start to stress you out ever?
I mean, that would be an understatement. Yeah. Yeah. It's like something about not being able to do your job, A, and then B, it's like you've had this goal and this vision and you have the funding and the projects together. You have the filmers, the support, like the productions, everything's in place. And then you're just the one piece of the puzzle that's not there. It's so hard. Like, definitely a battle. And I think I learned so much from going through that. And head injuries they're real. Like I have a lot of respect for people that have gone through that. And definitely, I would say the most underrated injury out there. Yeah.
It feels like there's still lots to learn. Everyone's different.
Totally. Yeah. Some things, like some treatments that help one person will make no difference for someone else. Yeah. So it's really just about finding what it is that works for you. And it's time too. And it's like, for me, it was like, if I was on my phone for 20 seconds, I would have an absolute blazing headache. Like couldn't look at a TV without feeling sick. If someone like walked by me and my eyes had to adjust, I'd get all loopy. Yeah. I had a long way to go in a short period of time. Somehow I was able to get there and end my season strong. So really couldn't have asked for more.
Crazy. Are you a book reader? Were you able to do that?
No, I couldn't read. I couldn't. No, there was not like that was what I'm talking about with it being so mentally
even a
hard.
Recipe.
Actually, I did sink into the kitchen during that time. That was something I could do. definitely like started baking and just cooking and nourishing my body with everything I could to be healthy. And that was like kind of my one escape, come to think about it. Yeah.
And I mean, obviously as an athlete, is your diet pretty, pretty driven in this one way, or do you get to, play around a bit because you are out there digging and burning a lot of energy?
Yeah. To be totally honest, I'd like to say like, oh no, I'm very strict.
Like,
my body's
Tay,
a temple.
Tay's very, regimented and her food's really healthy.
Right.
But are you running that kind of program, or is there
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you,
Right.
Feet. No,
Yeah.
I'm definitely like, I love food. It's a big part of my my lifestyle, really. Like I love when I travel, I just love eating out. I love experiencing. I think so much of culture is to do with food, and I eat healthy and I eat well, but
it's not a lot of Pemberton McDonald's drive-through
from time to time.
Sometimes you need that.
Sometimes.
What have you got on the rope or on the agenda for this winter? You just finished a 2-year project. Is there something right away to jump back into, or?
You know what? No. Like, to be totally honest, it's kind of liberating just to say that. Like, no, there isn't. There's like not another thing that I'm producing, which is great. Like, I'm going to be taking this opportunity to say yes to so many things that in the past few years I haven't been able to, just because I've been so one-track minded and so focused on this project that now I can do the things for my sponsors that they want me to do and go on trips to places that I want to go to, and shoot with Blake. I'll definitely get out with him. Perfect. And I'm also again kind of going back to this design, but I've got some ideas in the works with ARC that are really, really exciting. Can't really talk about it too much yet because I don't want to jinx it or anything, but that's definitely like where I see myself evolving, and I'm going to be skiing hard for sure all winter, but just the fact that I'm not working on a big project is like kind of a relief, to be totally honest.
Nice. And the sponsors are happy with that. Like, oh, we've got lots for you to do. So
yeah, totally. I mean, in the past, I haven't been able to go on any of the team trips or any of the get-togethers, or Arc'teryx does some really awesome events every year, and I haven't been to one the whole time I've been on the team because I've just been so driven with my projects. So to finally like get to do that, I think is just going to be so fun.
Yeah. You skateboard a little bit, or is that something you've done your whole life?
No. I don't really know if I could say I skate. Like, I kind of wean off of it pre-season, like before ski season, because what am I gonna do? Break my arm and then have to call my sponsors and be like, hey, broke my arm skateboarding. Like, sorry, I'm out for a bit. Like, that would not be a good look for me. But
totally.
I definitely had a lot of fun doing that like earlier in the summer, and Kai got me into that. We were at the Whistler Park going down the snake run a bunch, and it's
sick.
It's a wild sport though. Oof.
Yeah, I grew up on gravel roads, so I started skateboarding when I was 40, right? Which is a terrible time to start. Right away, broke my ankle right away. Right, but it is super fun to roll.
I've seen you at the Roller Babes.
Oh yeah, that's roller skating though. That's even more dangerous. The roller babes are fantastic.
You gotta love a man that rocks up to the roller babes event.
I don't know. I can't believe more don't. But that ties into what I was talking about with Ian, how, you go to the skate park these days and there's little girls everywhere, young women everywhere. And I always look to skateboarding as sort of the trendsetter in our sort of sports culture, right? It's really good to see young girls skate clubs, girls mentoring each other. And I know that if it's happening in skateboarding now, that's a good sign for all the other sports.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, skateboarding, like, as you said, is at the forefront of everything. So, I mean, the young women in skating right now are absolutely crushing. And you see that in skiing too. Like, the next generation is here, and they are in charge. It's going to be really, really cool to watch.
Yeah.
What happens
and it's going to be really cool to watch, women your age and younger start taking control of some of the companies, right? And start changing the culture from that side of things as well.
Absolutely.
Because it's been, it's been white dudes for a long time.
Yeah.
Right? European white dudes for a long time.
Totally.
Which, it is what it is. But it's going to be nice to see a different perspective on that.
Heck yeah.
What about, is there some place you've always wanted to ski but have never been yet?
Oh, so many places. I mean, Terrace Smithers.
Right.
I was thinking about that today. I'm like, should I just pack up my truck and go?
Yeah.
I definitely want to.
They've got my buddy Brian just sent me a screen grab of the forecast, and they're going to get like a half meter a night for the next 10 days.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Should we go, Pete?
I that place, you always want to go back.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So that's definitely high on my list.
That's totally achievable. Like you said, you could pack your truck and be there tomorrow.
Totally. Which the wheels are turning. I'm seriously contemplating that. But yeah, I mean, the world is really an oyster. Like the possibilities are endless. I do want to go back to Japan just because, oh gosh, the culture is incredible there. There's so many places in Europe. Like, you got to love the ski scene in Europe. Yeah. It's just a whole different world. It's wild. But Chamonix is high on my list. I've wanted to go for the last 2 years, and that was actually supposed to be a location in my project Passage, but because of COVID, that got shut down, and I ended up doing the trip to the Rockies with my dad instead.
Which is always a pretty good consolation trip, for sure.
Totally. Yeah. Especially when we hike up a couloir like that and get really great conditions, and kind of one of those perfect days that was like, okay, well, that
I mean,
was
one
perfect.
of those memories you can take the rest of your life, right? And I think that's the good thing about skiing is, even when you're a snotty little teenager that's kind of an asshole, like, I still remember being psyched to go skiing with my folks, right? Because they could rip.
Oh, totally.
And you can really do it. And even if you just, go for a couple runs and meet at lunch, and it's a true family sport, which I think is one of the best things about it.
Yeah, absolutely. My dad still skis harder than me. I go to Lake Louise, try to keep up with my dad. He's like, serious? I'm like, what? This is crazy. Like, I'm like huffing and puffing trying to keep up with him, and he's just gone. I'm like, wow, that's where I want to be.
Yeah.
When I'm that age.
What about, does your brother does he have kids or?
No, he doesn't. He has a beautiful girlfriend. She's part of the family at this point.
So do you guys feel the pressure? You're still quite young, but is there that sort of, hey, we've had this shop for 70 years, like, let's keep her going here, you guys?
I kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everyone with parents probably feels that a little bit. Right?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, for sure. It's just such a. That's why I just go back to bragging on my brother, just because I'm so proud that he stepped into that role. Yeah. And actually, my younger cousin, Tatum Monod, he's stepping into that as well in his own way. And I just have so much respect for them. Like, I go into the shop and it's just, they're working so hard, and it, like, Monod's is definitely a different business. Like, it's not your average sports shop, and you notice that as soon as you walk in, and it's just because of my brother and my family and our incredible employees that, like, really put the attention to the detail.
Awesome. Wow. Yeah. I mean, in this day and age, that's getting more and more rare, but also people are responding to it probably more and more than ever, because you can definitely feel that personal touch.
Totally.
Wow. What's something that, maybe what makes you stoked these days outside of skiing? Is there a record or is there music that you're hyped on, or?
I'm a country girl,
right.
through and through. Like, but then I was in the gym the other day, and I'm like, this country's not quite hitting. Like, I needed some, like, rap, you can't be in the gym, like, trying to get hustle and you're listening to country. Yeah, it's not really hitting the same. So I'll definitely, like, listen to rap when I'm working out. But I definitely, like, see myself getting involved in horses in the next, I would say, couple years, and that's really where I want to evolve and grow into, and fishing and just food, and that's just, like, following your passions and chasing what you love has has never done me wrong. So keep doing
and
that.
I mean, you're in Pemberton. That's a good place to have a horse, right?
Totally. Yeah.
What about when you talk about your country? Is it old school country, or like, to me, anything past kind of 1973, it starts to get a little bit weird, and then it gets better again lately.
Yeah. But, I hear you. I definitely like the old country. Like Hank, you can't beat that. But I won't lie, like the shitty pop country from time to time too.
Well, there's a time and place for everything, right?
Yeah.
So do you get to ride horses much then, like with friends and stuff still?
Yeah, I mean, I go back home. My parents actually live on a ranch outside of Calgary now, so and they're totally involved. Like that's their lives or their horses. They actually travel around and do cow horse competitions, and they compete against each other too, which is really cute.
Can you rope and stuff?
I can't. My cousin though, Morgan Grant, he's one of the best ropers in the world. He won the Calgary Stampede a couple years ago. Wow. In steer wrestling. So yeah, it's pretty cool to watch him go. But yeah, I love horses. Like something about connecting with an animal of that size, like it's just otherworldly. Like it's such a wild thing. And I absolutely, the more we talk about this, I'm like, yes, I need to get a horse. I need to get a horse soon.
Have you been out with Squamish River Horse Adventures with Bushy and Stace?
No, but it's so cool to watch what Stacey's doing. I definitely would love to go for a ride with her.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I went and got a new hat just from going out there and hanging out with those guys.
You got to look the part.
I mean, it feels like the cowboy thing is kind of, experiencing a bit of a trendiness right now. But I'm happy to say I'm out there shoveling shit. So I feel like I earned my hat.
It's a rite of passage.
Yeah. What else? What else? Is there anything else you want to talk about here while you have the world's attention?
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot of things we can avoid, right?
Yeah, totally.
There's a lot of things you don't want to talk about these days.
Yeah,
right?
There's a lot of
religion, politics, and vaccines are a hard no.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's a subject I won't even touch.
No. I know what I wanted to ask you. Let's talk about sea-dooing.
Yeah.
Didn't you go on like a huge trip up the coast just on the sea-doos?
Yeah, that was actually last summer, and that's something I definitely want to get more into. It's a lot like snowmobiling, where you're out there, you are at the mercy of those elements, and the ocean is a whole other thing, right? Like you have to be just as dialed out there as you do in the backcountry, and really have like your team and your support system, and like be dialed, because it is very humbling out there. But I want to definitely do more of that off my Sea-Doo, and the coast, Tofino is like the perfect spot for that, to access those remote waves.
Yeah. And I guess ocean fishing, it's not something you would have grown up with, but are you getting into it?
I mean, yeah, like this salmon fishing is something that I'd love to do just to fill my freezer. And I have so much to learn when it comes to that. And we obviously live in an incredible part of the world to do that, but I know nothing about it. Like I'm such a trout fisher that I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing when I'm down in Squamish. But the saltwater flat fishing is really like, that is where I'm truly in my happy place.
Right.
I got to go to Belize a couple years ago and fish for permit down there, and I even talking about it's triggering feet. I'm like, what?
I think we're gonna have to phone the tourism board of Seychelles and get those guys on board.
It's so funny you say that, because if I could fish anywhere in the entire world, that's where it would be. How did you know that?
I've been eyeing that place up too. Right?
Yeah.
It's not easy to get to. It doesn't look cheap, but I mean, I feel like anywhere that there's a tourism industry, they probably want you and me to come.
Totally. Actually, my friends used to manage one of the lodges down in the Seychelles, and they actually stepped out of that position a couple years ago. I was like, oh no, that was my in.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, there's so many places. Like I have just as many places, if not more, that I want to fish. That I want as I do that I want to ski. So it's.
What about South America? You skied down there?
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
they got big trout in Lake Titicaca.
Yeah. They do.
I just like saying Lake Titicaca, but they do have
seriously there.
They do have big trout in there.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with skiing, right? Is like every time I'm going obviously in the winter, they're winter. So the best time to fish the streams and the rivers are generally not then.
Yeah.
If not, they're completely closed. It's definitely in South America. And so just to go to destinations like that, just to fly fish, it would be.
That would be like, that's like a holiday. For
yeah,
you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's like a real treat.
Yeah. Oh man, you're tying your own flies, all that.
No, I mean, actually, this is a fun fact. One of my first jobs in Whistler was with Brian Nesca.
Right.
When he had the fly fishing shop next to
yeah,
Dubs.
beside 7-Eleven.
Yeah. And was it 7-Eleven or was it Dubs? Like that spot next to Dubs.
Yeah. Right between 7-Eleven and Dubs.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So I would just sit there for days and tie ants. Because every summer, Whistler has an ant hatch.
Yeah,
and
of course.
when that hatch is going off, people are coming in left, right, and center to buy ants. So I think I got like carpal tunnel in my fingers from just tying so many ant patterns. But I remember like not really feeling that confident, knowing really what I was doing, because those were the first flies I ever tied. And then kind of this OG fisherman came in and he's like, young lady, like I got to buy a dozen more of those ants because they really crushed it for me today. And I was like, oh, sick. I'm down with this.
Yeah. Ant Factory.
Yeah.
I miss that store.
Totally.
So you've been in this area a while then? Like that store's been gone at least 5 years. Right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I moved out here when I was 19. So like, I just spent a winter in Revy, and then I've been on the coast. I mean, I've traveled a lot in between then and kind of like lived out of my truck and done the Free Ride World Tour thing and moved to Salt Lake for a couple years in between. But I've always had a spot here. It's always been, it's home for me now. So
Sweet. Mm-hmm. So, as we roll her down here, for the, young kids out there, they're going to watch the Passage movie and they're going to be like, that's what I want to do with my life. Do you have some canned go-to advice for people that are, that look to you as someone that they want to emulate?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, again, it's just going back to chasing your passions and doing what you love and surrounding yourself with mentors, right? Because that's what got me where I'm at, was just chasing people that I looked up to and people that I emulate and I respect. And I think there's no better inspiration, right, than that. And there's nothing that can kind of get you further than surrounding yourself with good energy and people that you respect and aspire to be like.
Well, there we go. You heard it from the lady herself. Tatum, thank you so much for your time. And we'll hopefully see you on the river or on the hill or on both.
Yeah.
Or on the plane to Seychelles.
Oof.
Dude.
The dream.
Let's make it happen.
Cheers.
And that, mountain lifers, is that. What a fascinating person. What a great conversation. Tatum, really fun to talk to, especially, I suppose, if you're into fishing and baking pies. But irregardless, thank you, Tatum, for giving us your time. The film, again, is called Passage. It's online. It's on Red Bull TV. It's fantastic. Also, thanks to Shirai Rules for the voiceovers off the intro, and thanks to Adrian Gendro for the guitar licks. And thanks to all of you for listening, and for reading the magazines, hitting up the website, and buying merch from the online store. We definitely have the best merch right now that we've ever had in the 15 years I've been here. So be sure you check that out, mountainlifemedia.ca. There's a button for a store. And that's it, I guess. Take care of each other out there. Keep your digital security protocols tight. And if you see any hackers, kick them in the teeth. Until then, namaste, motor truckers. We will catch you on the flip side, right back here, sometime in February. I have no idea who the guest is going to be, but that kind of makes it exciting.